Good morning. Make sure I am live everywhere I'm supposed to be live. So let me know when you get here that you're here. Say hello, and let me pull this up on my phone so I can make sure I can see everything. You know the drill. You've been here before. Everything. You know the drill. All right. All right. So here we are. It's a beautiful morning, and it's going to be a beautiful day. Just because we woke up this morning, right? Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. Good to see you here. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. And yesterday, when I was on my way to go pick my daughter up from work, because I don't know if you remember, but I had to take her to work because she had an optical migraine going on and couldn't drive. But on the way to pick her up, this is when the affirmation for today popped in my head, and it was, I don't know if you're like me, but there are times that I feel less than, right? And some old limiting beliefs pop up, and I've got, I'm at the place now where I recognize them really quickly and I can divert them and I can do all those things. But this affirmation stayed with me. And so I thought, okay, well, this must be the one that I need to share today. So I'm excited to share it with you, and hopefully it'll be something that moves you, and like it moves me. So how are you doing this morning, Wendy? I would say right there at the beach, it's probably pretty good most mornings, right? I mean, we all have good mornings, but something about being able to just walk out and hear the ocean is just amazing. And I'm assuming since you live by the beach that you feel the same way. I have this thing about hearing water. I don't have a fountain on my back patio where I live now because, for whatever reason, they don't have any outside electrical outlets. And to me, that's like, what? But prior to moving here, I always loved having a water source, some kind of fountain or something that I could hear the water when I would be outside. And I kept one going all the time until I moved from when I sold my house and I moved. It was like nothing has allowed me to do that. But I do have, like I've shared before, I do have this big copper bowl that is in the front hallway. And make sure that as you get here that you say hello and let us know that you're here. But I have this, it's a big copper bowl. It's pretty big. And it has these little bells on the inside, and then these chimes that sit in the water. And so you can hear the water, but these chimes hit as it goes around. And so that's my water source that I hear all the time. All right, let's see what this says. Great, excited. We're going to look at a senior community today. It's being planned for 3 to 5 years from now. Just perfect for us. Oh, okay. So you're thinking you might sell your place? Or are you going to start renting your place? What are you going to do? And you know what's funny to me is, I guess it's as you get older, senior just seems like it's still way far from you, right? Um, but I was shocked. I was asked to do some hypnosis with some groups in a at a senior center, and so I go, and I mean, it's a pretty cool place, and I asked something about, what's the age group that comes here? And they said, well, it's a senior center. So anybody 55 and up. I thought, 55? What the hell? Sell to pay for the place there. Yeah, yeah. Well, um, I'm so excited for you. And it's an amazing thing to think about that you can leave that place, sell it, and just buy the next one. And I know a lot of people do amazingly well with doing that. So we'll all have our prayers going out for you that if that place is the perfect place, then it'll all work out, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let me find my, hold on, I got to copy and paste. I'm going to share today's affirmation, and it's short and sweet. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, let me go over here. Sandra, thank you for being here on Instagram. I appreciate you. So today's affirmation is I am enough. I mean, that says so much in that statement, right? And like I said, every now and then I drop into that place of feeling like I'm not enough and that I need to learn something more. I need to say things different. I need, right? And we all do it to a certain extent. And the, some of those old limiting beliefs can pop in. And the thing is interesting is the recognizing the things that trigger those thoughts in us, right? And it's funny because like this morning I was looking and I had a message from Stacy, who is going to be doing her TED talk at the end of the month, and I'm going to go there and get to see her actually do her TED talk in San Diego. And the thing is that she was asking me some questions about how I felt before I started my podcast and these different things because she was making some notes of stuff. So anyway, and as I started looking and I thought, oh my gosh, and it's been a little over a year since I started my podcast, but man, oh man, that's the thing that changed my life drastically because before that, it was like, I was the master at wearing a mask. Wherever I was, I put on a different mask. I had a basket of them, I'll tell you. And every time I got in front of certain people, I would put on the mask that was appropriate to be with them, right? And and part of that is, you learn. I was a hairstylist, been for over 30 years. And you learn that when somebody new comes and sits in your chairs, that you get to be the master at looking to see what their thoughts, their opinions are, their body language, and all these different things so that you can connect with them. Right. And so it's not that you're lying, but you're filtering what you say depending on who they are so that you can make that connection. Right. And, there's an art to that. But the thing is that was going on everywhere for me. It wasn't just to be at work. It was everywhere. And so when I started the podcast challenge with Stacy, it was like in the beginning, I thought, oh my gosh, if the thing that's going to help me is to be able to do a podcast, because then I don't see them. I don't know if they like it or don't like it. I don't know any of that. And that's okay. It just gave me a place that, good morning, Wendy. Good morning. It just gave me a place to be able to just speak, right? And without any agenda, without any worries. And it opened up a world to me that was just, I can't even tell you how that radically changed me, and how I show up in the world. And so the thing is that before I started doing that, I felt like the reason that I had to filter my voice everywhere is because I wasn't enough. So I had to pretend to be enough here and pretend to be enough here. And it was all a mask that I was wearing, right? Because I didn't feel like enough at all. And something happened as I began my podcast, and I went through the challenge, and I realized that I'm not as technically challenged as I thought. I'm not an expert at it by any means, but I can learn any damn thing if I put my mind to it. And before that, I felt like I didn't want to try things I didn't know how to do. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? I didn't want to try things that I didn't know how to do because I didn't want to look stupid in the process. Because I didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't know enough. I wasn't enough. And so there's things that we can do to begin to awaken this inside of us. I am enough. And so let's start there, knowing that you're a child of God. You've got the universe has your back, all of those things. You're a being with a heart and a soul. You are enough no matter what has happened in your past, no matter what's going on in your direct now, right? And so the thing is that our perspective on who we are changes what we draw to us. And I've told you the workshop that's coming up, and I think I have decided that it is going to be, and I know this goes against some of the stuff that people have said in the thing, but I think it's going to have to be Tuesday the 20th at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to create the event because once I did all of that and everything, something already took up that Thursday spot that I was wanting to put in there. Good morning, Kimmy. Good morning. Good to have you here. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about is how to become knowing that we are enough. Now, doesn't that feel good to think that you can just bring that up within you, that I am enough? And remember, anything that comes after the words I am is super powerful, right? So just say this to yourself right now. Short and sweet, right? I am enough. I'm enough just as I am, exactly where I am in my life, whether my house is untidy, or whether I have a lot of money in my account or I don't, whether I have a relationship or I don't, whether I have a booming business or I don't. I am enough. All of those external things are not who we are. And by recognizing that we are enough just as we are in this very moment, changes us. It makes me think, what is it? Bridget Jones' Diary, if you guys have seen that. And I know probably it's an older movie, so whether you have or not, but I've always loved it. And one of the things that happens in there is, she feels very inadequate all the time, right? And she has this one gentleman that says that he really, really likes her. And she says, oh, I get it. If I had bigger boobs, if I was smaller, if I was this and I was that. And he said, no, just as you are. And it was such a moment for her in this movie that she even shared it with her friends that he said, just as I am. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could look at ourselves that way, right? I love me. I love who I am right now. I am enough just as I am. Let me know what your thoughts are. How do you feel when that thought is going through your mind? Does it feel good, or do you have a little angst with it? Does it show up someplace in your body that says, nope, don't believe it? And we will be talking about a lot of this stuff on at the workshop. More in depth, of course, because we'll have more time. So what say you? Mixed emotions. Yeah. Yeah. Well, exhilarating. Yes, Wendy. And thank you for being honest with that, Kimmy, because sometimes that's the hard place is to be honest when, we have this affirmation and it has a mixed bag, right? That we're not sure. We feel good about it. We feel not so good about it. But let me ask you, how do you want to feel about it? Do you want to feel like that is actually you? That you are enough just exactly as you are, not thinner, not heavier, not bigger boobs, not more successful, more talkative, less talkative, have more money. What are all the things, right? I'm struggling with that affirmation. If I could get it, I would change my life. Yes, 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 Wendy. This is true. I want to feel good and truly believe it. All right. So we're getting somewhere here. We're getting somewhere. Thank you for sharing that. And like I said, we will work on some of that when we do the workshop. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and go to the journal prompt, and it's going to get us started on that path. Okay. So let's see. I think I have to take this part off to make it show up right. All right, so here's the journal prompt, and this will be very supportive for where you guys are right now. All right, so our journal prompt is list 3 things you feel unsure about when expressing yourself. For each one, write a statement and reframe it to show how you are indeed enough. So it could be something that you feel unsure about in your life today, not just expressing yourself. Maybe it is something you feel inadequate about for your body, your business, your relationships, your life, whatever it is. List at least 3 things that have you questioning, is that really true for me that I am enough? Write them out. And for each one, write a statement that reframes it to show how you are indeed enough. So it's going to be some reflection today, because sometimes this is a really hard thing to look at. However, looking at it and actually pulling some of this information out is going to benefit like you would not believe. And so today, make sure you're journaling about this, because when we do the workshop, you know, you can ask me questions about it, and we can see if I can help you to do some more reframing if we need to reframe. And then we'll do some actual, like a little mini hypnosis that will help you to reframe some of this. It's going to be very powerful. And I'm looking forward to doing that with you. So list 3 things you feel unsure about when expressing yourself. Or, like I said, it can just be feel 3 things that you feel inadequate about, that you feel you have to change about you to be enough. And I can say in the past, one of my big ones was my weight. Always, it was my weight. If I wasn't so fat, I would be so lovable and I would be so enough. If I had more money, I would be so lovable and I would be so enough. If I could travel, I would be so lovable and so enough. Good morning, Lynn. If I had a better car. There was always something in my past that was making me, that I would bring up. If I had that, I would be enough. And it took me a while to get to the place where I'm enough, regardless of what's reflecting out here. And once you can own that you are enough, So, Lynn, I know you just got here, but our affirmation for the day is I am enough. And that statement by itself has a whole mixed bag of stuff, right? So whether you live in the house that you really want to live in, you drive the car that you want to drive, your business is exactly what you want it to be, your house is tidy, your weight is perfect, or at least more perfect. Your romantic relationships are good. All of those things are great, but that's not what makes you enough, right? Let's see what that says. Money to, okay. I feel unsure because I'm poor and struggling to pay bills. I'm enough no matter how much I earn. Money doesn't define who I am. How kind I am and how I treat others is much more important. If I'm compassionate towards others, that is more important. I can help by just listening to others. Beautiful, Wendy, beautiful. And you know, the thing like, I have a ring and a pen that says I am enough. Oh, I love that. And then Kimmy is helping you out there, Wendy. Stay awesome, right? I love how you guys kind of jump in and help each other out. And you know, I love this I am enough. And part of it's because it can bring up within you the things that make you feel like you're not enough, like nothing, right? I mean, like crazy. And this is a beautiful thing for it to come up, because when you can come, when it comes up and you can actually write it down, just list the things that, like Wendy, you said that you feel unsure because you're poor and struggling to pay bills. Well, put that down, right? Put all those things down, and like you did a great reframe there, but make sure you've written it down so that we can address a little bit of that when we have the workshop. And come to the workshop with your journal, with the things that are coming up for you, and make sure that you bring it to my attention, and we'll work on that, because I'm telling you, it's powerful stuff. We can change so much within us and what we attract to us by how we feel. And because when you feel insecure, that you're not enough, the people that are going to show up in your life typically are the ones that are going to prove to you how enough you are. They're going to mirror to you how you feel about yourself. It's interesting how I feel that I'm enough for others, but not quite get that feeling for myself. Yes, Lynn, yes. I get that. I really do. And we all fall prey to that every now and then. I mean, if there's anybody that says they never ever have that feeling, I don't know that they're being honest with you. Because when you think about it, as we're growing and we're becoming, right, and we stretch out of our comfort zone a little bit, every time you do that, you can almost get that feeling of, oh my gosh, can I do this? And that's that I'm not enough feeling that shows up. And when you can go ahead and stretch out of your comfort zone and still do the things, then you're proving to yourself, whoa, wait a minute. What was I questioning? Because I am enough. I am so enough that I can do any damn thing I want. I can learn anything that I want to learn. I can ask people to help with something if I can't figure it out. I'm enough just as I am right here, this very second. I am so enough. Oh my gosh. Right? So are you starting to feel a little bit of that essence? And I'm telling you, by going in and listing the 3 things that are coming up for you as we talk about being enough. Let's see, what does this say over here? Yes, if I was thinner and sculpted, prettier and taller, and smarter and financially well off, those are my insecurities. But I am enough. I'm releasing the weight. I'm educated, gaining more confidence, and I will be financially well off. Yes. You could even rephrase that part, that I will be financially well off, is to say, I am on my way to being financially well off. But I love all of that reframing right there, Kimmy. That's beautiful. And see, the thing is, too, remember, even if all those things that you just listed there, if none of them changed, can you see within yourself that you're still enough? That's where the beauty really shows up. If you can be enough, know that you're enough, even if not a doggone thing changed in your life, can you tap into, I'm enough just as I am? Remember, just as I am. Now that's where the rub lies. A lot of the times we have this belief that the only way we are enough is that we create all these changes, right? So one of the things, Kimmy, that might really help is but I am enough. I am enough at the weight that I am right this very moment. I am enough with the education that I have. I am enough whether I gain more confidence or not. And I am enough even if my financial situation never changed. Now, when you're doing all of that, what you're really doing is changing the vibration of where you are right this minute, which allows things to come. When you can be happy, grateful, proud, secure, you are enough no matter what your weight is. You are caring and kind, and that is more important. Yes, Wendy, yes. Being enough with just being alive. Remember, you are a gift to the world. You're here for a reason. Even if you don't know what the reason is yet, doesn't matter. There are no accidents, right? You weren't just all of a sudden plopped down onto the earth and then whoop, there's no purpose. There's a reason you're here. I just need to not give my time to those not valuing me as a whole, look for validation from others. I'm now learning to be enough for me because I'm giving me to everyone. My aunt pointed it out last night. I need to work on Kimmy. Thank you. I've lost myself the few months. I'm trying to get back to me, but only better. Yes. Oh, and thank you, Wendy. Grateful and satisfied. Yeah, I love that. And this is all a process. And the thing that is important to remember is that even if in this very moment you don't really feel like you're enough, go ahead and use this affirmation to create some of this thought. And it's like, I am enough. How enough am I? How can I even see how enough I am? Because everything about me is perfect right this minute. And, we can do this with objects. Like we can, let's say when you bought your car, you bought a new car and you're so proud of it. It is so enough. And then, you've driven it for a while and it kind of gets to be old hat. And then you start noticing the flaws that it has. And we do that with ourselves. We can feel like we're enough. And then somebody mirrors to us one of our insecurities. And suddenly we're thinking, wait a minute, I thought I was enough, but maybe I'm not enough right here. And so, what I'm really wanting to help you do is to fall into this place of no matter what happens around you, no matter what people say, no matter what people do, no matter the circumstances of your life, you feel deep in your heart that you're enough. And won't that be powerful when you think about it? That you wake up in the morning and you know you're enough. You go through your day, no matter what shows up, no matter what happens, you know you're enough. Then it's so much easier when you know deep in your heart that just as you are, you're enough. Then, oh man, how do you show up? You show up totally different in your whole life. And that's where all the magic really happens, because it changes you, and how you feel about you actually reflects in your body as you start walking through your day. Like I think I've shared with you, there was a woman that I did some hypnosis with, and she was feeling very insecure about her weight. And she wanted me to help her lose weight. And so as we go through, because when I'm doing hypnosis, I do a coaching prior to, and then we do the hypnosis, right? And during the coaching and everything, I realized that when she was going about her day, if let's say she was walking down the street and somebody said something, it didn't matter what they said, or even if they were even talking to her, she took it as they were critiquing her body, that she wasn't pretty enough, she wasn't thin enough. And she would all the time feeling embarrassed as she was walking places, because she didn't feel like look like she wanted to look, right? So she wanted to lose weight. And I wish I could remember the name of the book, but I've got it somewhere. But there was a plastic surgeon that wrote a book because he was helping people to change their physicality, right? And so he was able to really redo facial problems that people had. And the thing was that even after he completed it and all of the physical things that they thought were wrong were gone, they still saw them there. They still had the same feeling about who they were. He could make them gorgeous, but they still didn't feel enough. They didn't feel pretty enough, smart enough, all of those things. So it wasn't the physical thing that was causing the issue. Just like this woman, it wasn't her weight that was causing the issue. It is what's going on in here. And so, like, if you've ever been like, I had a friend one time she was very heavy, and I was not, especially in comparison. But for some reason, she had this mega security. She didn't care. She loved who she was just as she was, right? Now me, I was a lot smaller. I was really thin in comparison to her. I was probably maybe a size 10, something like that. But I felt very insecure. Like I wouldn't wear shorts. I didn't want to wear sleeveless tops. I was embarrassed because my body didn't look like what I wanted it to, right? We could go somewhere. Both of us go into this bar, let's say, and if you want to look at bodies, my body was a hell of a lot nicer than hers, okay? But she would get so much attention. Men would come up and want to dance with her. They would want to buy her drinks. They would want to do all these different things. They would just laugh and have a good time. They were asking her out, all this stuff, right? Now here, typically, my body at that point was, I say at that point because I'd lost a lot of weight, okay? But it was like it was supposed to be the one that would get all the attention. But that's not what happened, because up here, I felt very inadequate. So when I was working with this client, We worked on how she felt as she's walking down the street, how she felt about the clothes that she wore, how she felt about herself. And the really cool thing was afterwards, after we did the hypnosis and everything, she had to go somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but she was walking down the street and she said she noticed the glances that with smiles. Whereas before, that's not what she saw. The only thing that had changed in this woman wasn't her size, it wasn't her clothes, it wasn't any of that, was right here. But she started seeing glances that were nice. She started having men approach her and wanting to go out, to go dancing, to do all these things. And like I said, the only thing that changed was here. So this is something that we can all work on, me included, because like I've said a million times before, I am not perfect by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. I still fall prey to all this stuff. It's something that I work on quite often. But this is how we start. Let me see what's happening over here. So can you see how by just making this list of the things that are going on for you, what's coming up as we're talking about this, and reframing that would be beneficial? So like I said, our affirmation is, I am enough. Simple, sweet. And if you want to add anything to that, you can say, just as I am. Put that on your sticky note, your index card, your screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere that you are really reminded today how enough you are. Okay, let's see what this one says. What amazes me, the fuller figured African American woman has the most amazing confidence for plus size, but Caucasian women find imperfections and have self-esteem issues about their size. Body shaming is so sad and unacceptable. Yes, this will really help me if I get it. If I can get this, it will change my whole world. Yes, it will, Wendy. And so just change that from if, say when I get this, because you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And we're going to work on that. And remember, anybody that wants to dive in a little bit deeper, remember I did that offer yesterday of a one session. And so if it's something that you want to do and money's an issue, reach out, let me know, and let's see what we can work out. And because the offer ends tonight at midnight. So definitely if it's something you want to work on with me, a one-on-one, then reach out and let's have a conversation. But we will be having the workshop and we will be working on that, but it will be of a group setting. And so it's a lot different to work one-on-one, but I'll leave that entirely up to you because right now the workshop is going to be free. I am going to record it and hopefully I can offer that recording to people that need a little bit of movement too. But I'm super excited to help each and every one of you however I can. All right, well, let me get back up here. All right, so we've got our affirmation, and what I like to tell you to do, and I know you guys have been here before, so you know the drill. Get your journal out, your notebook out, put the date up there, the affirmation, and the journal prompt. And like I said, with affirmation, I almost put I am enough just as I am, but then I thought, okay, let's just leave it I am enough. But if you want to spread that out a little bit and add on there just as I am, that's powerful too, right? So you decide which one works better for you and just do that one, okay? And then put your journal out there. List the 3 things you feel unsure about when expressing yourself, or the 3 things that are coming up for you right now as we're doing this, right? And then for each one, write a statement that reframes it. And then another thing that you can ask yourself is, how can I embrace these new perspective to change how I show up in the world. And take a few moments to just get in silence and quiet your mind and just let your subconscious, your guide voice talk to you and share. Just don't, the thing is we don't want to judge anything that comes up. Just brain dump everything that shows up for you. Even if it sounds ridiculous or it feels like it doesn't even pertain to what we're talking about, still write it down. Write down everything that shows up. All right, let's see what this says. There was a song we need to listen to. It's by Mark Wills. It's called Don't Laugh at Me. It's a beautiful song. Okay, I'll look that up. That sounds country. Is that a country song? I don't even recognize who Mark Wills is. Sorry. And there was a song in God, what was it called? Yes, it is a country song. You know, that's why am I'm blanking on the name of this movie, and I do not know why. He's a cutie. Makes it even better, right? The song This Is Me. You remember that song? Kimmy does know a lot about music. I know a few genres pretty well, and especially a lot of the older stuff, because now it seems like I don't listen to music as much as I used to. I listen to podcasts and books and that kind of thing. And so I don't have the music on as much as I used to. TLC, Unpretty 2, not heard of it, but we'll check it out. Okay. Yeah. So we can find all kinds of representations of this is a big thing for a lot of people, right? That's why these songs become so big, because it strikes a chord in people that are feeling not enough. And it helps them to see that those people feel like they're not enough, and they are, right? So just remember, we are enough just as we are. And so I would love to hear from you if you want to share in the group that something that's coming up for you, and just see, because as you're recommending a song, or as you're talking about something that's coming up for you, you might be the catalyst that helps someone else say, oh, that's me too. And I didn't realize so many people felt that way. So if you feel up to it, share in the group and let people know that we talked about this morning and it meant something to you. And then remember, I've got a list of a big long list of to-dos today, and I'm going to be working as well. So, and I got a podcast tonight. I didn't realize so many people struggled with this. Yeah, Wendy, there's a lot. There's a lot. And the beautiful thing is as we collectively, as we work on this together and we change us, remember that ripple of vibration, we actually affect other people. So the people that you're interacting with, as you become knowing in your heart that you are enough, you change, right? This is affirmation is so helpful. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad, Wendy. So as you change, you're going to actually be walking different, acting a little bit different, not in a bad way. It's going to be beautiful. But when someone else sees that you did it, they're going to say, something's different about you. What did you do? What's going on? And you can share with them and affect them as well. And just by being in your presence, because as you change, remember, our vibration changes. We ripple out into the world. Everything we do to change our vibration to be a more positive thing, it positively affects the people around us, and it expands out further. So you're doing this for you, but it affects others too. And that's a beautiful thing, right? Remember, I talked before, and you've probably heard it from other places, how the Tibetan monks could go into um, a, a meditation and affect the actual crime in an area, because that's what they were meditating about, right? So as you're doing this change within you to where you are feeling wholeheartedly like I am enough just exactly as I am, you're going to affect others, and other people are going to start grabbing that vibration that you have out, and it's going to elevate them too. And as you're doing that, you're going to start drawing more people to you that really reflect the fact that you are enough. So this is our journey. This is our quest. And I'm excited to see and hear how this all comes for you. And like I said, I'll be creating the event today and putting it into the actual Facebook group, the Stand Up and Stand Out community. So anybody that's watching on a different platform, if you would like to be part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, then go to VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com. And when you're prompted to answer questions, make sure you answer the questions, because I do have someone in there, once again, that has not answered the questions. And I'm going to be sending her a message today, reminding her you've got to answer the questions. And then if she doesn't do it within the next few days, I just delete her. And because I really only want people in here that are truly wanting to be part of this group. And one of the things is, if you don't answer the questions, I assume, of course, you know about assuming, but I assume that you're not really wanting to be part of the group, because this is the entrance fee, answering the questions, right? All right, so let's see. I know I saw something here just a second ago. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much. Wendy always ends up giving me some kind of ending close for the day. She says, have a very confident day. So have a very confident day, noticing and realizing that you are enough just as you are. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And keep a watch for the workshop information. And definitely, one more time, I'm going to say, if you have someone in your life that would benefit from all the stuff that we do, then definitely go in and personally invite them to be part of the group. Send them a direct message and tell them, I am part of this group and I know you would benefit too. If you would like to, here's the link. Make sure you answer the questions. So don't just randomly send the invite. Go in and personally let them know that they were in your thoughts and you knew that they would benefit too, because I would love to expand this group even further. And with your help, we can. And the more people that are here to enjoy and listen, help each other, because you guys are masters at it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, and if you're watching the replay, make sure you put #replay and let me know that you were here. All right. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, I'll see you there. Mwah.